guys, so it's time for another mommy vlog. I was gonna film downstairs, but I was getting some stuff done up here. Long story short, downstairs is not quite set up the way I want it to be yet, and I have my computer up here. So I'm gonna get my office set up eventually, and it'll be, well, my office, and it'll be fine. But for now, I'm up here, I'm back in the dining room. Buddy is asleep. So he's been asleep for an hour, so I'm feeling pretty good. Got a lot done. And for this mommy vlog, I just kind of wanted to do like a January 2019, like here's what's going on. And that encompasses for me most of the 4th month. Next week he'll be 5 months. So I figure that's kind of like it's a good like bunch of stuff to talk about. I know I haven't been doing a lot of mommy vlogs. I'm trying to get back into my, I'm trying to figure out what my schedule is gonna be right now for uploading. So mommy vlogs are probably gonna be like every once in a while, or like maybe I'll do twice a month. I don't know. I'll figure it out. I'll put it on the banner. I might put it in a video and we'll figure it out. So, okay, 4th month. So let's start with the 4-month appointment. He has almost doubled his weight, his birth weight, which is awesome. Super happy about that. He looks great in terms of everything the doctor was looking at. He looks great. So nothing out of the ordinary there. We did start talking about doing solids. What we're doing right now is we're doing rice cereal. It's once a day at the moment, which I want to do twice a day, but for reasons I'll get into in a little bit, it's kind of hard to do that at the moment. He really likes it. He really likes doing it. It's rice cereal mixed with breast milk into kind of like an oatmeal paste. So it's not super nutritious outside of what he's getting from breast milk, but it kind of gives him just that like, ooh, there's a spoon coming towards my mouth. And he does really good with it. So I'm excited about that. He really likes having the rice cereal. We've been using it for a while to thicken up my milk at night to help him feel more full. And we've had it, so we figured we would try it. He really likes it. And I'm excited to start introducing food to him. And I think honestly, I think he's ready to. He was like reaching toward tortilla chips the other night. So that's exciting. So that was pretty much the whole appointment. There wasn't anything weird. It was very fast. Like I said, everything's looking good. He's growing. He's actually dropped from like the 90th percentile, I think, for height to, I want to say it's closer to the 60th or 75th, something like that. So he's not growing as long as fast. He's kind of slowed down. But he's still in a good range for everything. Weight-wise, height-wise, head circumference, I think is a little low, but it's not bad. So that's all good. I'm so sad. I feel like I don't really have like a baby anymore. And I felt that way for a little bit since he wanted to stand so bad at 2 months. But he is gonna be moving soon, almost guaranteed. He's been flipping over consistently. We actually don't put him down on his back right away anymore when he goes to sleep for naps or at night, because he'll just flip himself over. And we keep an eye on him. I know there will be people who disagree with that, but I feel very comfortable in what I see him able to do. We still don't have any stuffed animals in the bed or anything like that, but his neck control and head control, he's pushing up really well, things like that. It makes sense to put him on his stomach. And like I said, the other thing too is even if we put him on his back, he'll just flip over and that wakes him up, and there's a whole host of reasons, but that's something we've been doing now, is putting him to sleep on his stomach. He will move himself now around the crib. Not only will he move from like one end to the other just by like squirming. He'll also rotate himself in like a circle, so that's fun. And when we put him on his tummy for some tummy time, which really he does himself, because I'll put him on his back and he'll just flip himself over, he will try to like pull himself around. So he's gonna be moving. Honestly, I think it feels like he's gonna be moving any day now. I actually took him to the gym today, to the child care center, and the girl was like, he's really wanting to go. I was like, I know. He loves trying to walk, and by trying I mean, you know, holding onto our hands and taking steps. He loves his exerciser, which we've now had out for almost 2 months. We're almost to the point where we're gonna have to lift it again. We're gonna have to lift it for the first time because he's getting a little tall. But he loves standing. He's getting really good at seeing where things are, especially my glasses. He loves to reach out and take my glasses and take my hair. And he also really likes the cat. Like, he'll be crying and I'll show him the cat and he'll immediately just be like, oh, and all smiles. And it's been really fun to see his personality come out. So there are 2 other things I wanted to talk about. I should write these down sometime, but I'm just kind of scatterbrained. I'm gonna call that mommy brain. I'm okay with taking on that. It's a good excuse for me on why I keep forgetting things. So the first thing is we're actually not breastfeeding anymore, but he is still getting breast milk. One thing that I found in this last month, there's this kind of twofold things that happened. Here in January, our friends went back to work, and they have a son who is a week younger than Graham. So I watch him roughly 3 days a week, which is the other part that I want to talk about today. But I watch him about 3 times a week, and it was really, really difficult to feed our friend's son. I'm just gonna call him R. To feed R. It was really hard to feed R and then also feed my son. And like, R is still breastfeeding, so like, I'm sure it was a mix of things. Like, it was a new environment. I'm still technically a new person. I'm not mom and dad. But he would get really upset whenever I was feeding Graham. And I think he might know, like, oh, when chest comes out, food time, even though he's already eaten. So there was that. It's also, Graham eats a lot faster on a bottle. Which is good and bad. We've started trying to do more pace feeding to slow him down a bit. But he just seems to do a lot better with a bottle. And there's also, like, I have a very big chest. I'm a bigger girl and I got a big chest. And it has just been, like, I've been bringing bottles around wherever we go anyway, because it's been cold and it's hard to like take out my chest and like feed him and get in like the right position. Because I actually do the football hold where you hold him off to the side and feed him versus cross body. Cross body, I think if my chest was a little smaller, I think if my tummy was a little smaller, I think if Graham was, you know, back to being a little baby, I'd be more comfortable doing it for longer and like doing it out in public. Not that I have any problem with people who do. It's just not for me. Like, there's too much going on here to deal with that. So I've been bringing bottles wherever we go anyway. Plus, I actually really like knowing exactly how much he's getting. I don't remember if I mentioned this in previous mommy vlogs, but Graham has kind of a spit up problem. It's not terrible, but he definitely was spitting up more than your average baby, like early on. And so I actually started cutting back on how long I would breastfeed him. And that helped because I'm pretty sure that he will just keep eating. Like if the food is there, he will just keep eating. Though he's got to be full because as soon as he gets off, he just spits up like half of what he has. So I stopped feeding him as long when I was breastfeeding him, or at least I timed him. But now I know exactly how much he's getting. I know when it's too much. And so it's been easier for me to kind of do it. That's also what I'm used to from working in a daycare, because we would just have like, this is how much they're eating, and then you would know, oh, this is when we need to give them like a bigger bottle, this is when we need to get them less. I know how much I'm producing because I'm an overproducer. And so it's just been working really well to just put him on bottles. And I do feel guilty about that some days. That I think I've been doing it for over a week now where it's just been strictly bottles. And I do feel bad, but at the same time, he seems happy. He's definitely been more calm when he finishes a bottle. Like, I know he's had enough. And I think he's kind of getting that he's had enough. And he's definitely not starving. The kid's chunky. I love him. He's chunky. And you know, he feels like he's still gaining weight, and his tummy always feels full. So, I don't feel bad from I'm not taking care of my child. Like, no, I'm taking care of my child. I just feel bad because I feel like sometimes I should be breastfeeding still, but he's still getting the nutrients, so I don't know. It's working. The last point I wanted to talk about is I have started watching Our Friend's Son, which has honestly been really tough. Once again, number of factors. Since the beginning of January, my husband's been working at a job site where he's gone multiple times a week. And if he comes home, he's home maybe around bedtime for Graham. So I'm just with him all day. Or sometimes he'll just not be home. And especially last week, everything kind of culminated last week because not only was my husband out of town for every day except for Monday and came home late on, like, super late on the day that he did come home, I was also watching Our Friend's Son. I was actually supposed to watch him those same days. So I was basically a single parent in that I was the one in charge of my son when he woke up at night. I didn't have my support system. I didn't have my normal support. I didn't have a support system in general, who could, you know, step in and help when I needed it. And I was watching my friend's son, who is a week younger, so they're developmentally about at the same spot, and they're tough. They're 4 months, almost 5 months old. And if you know anything about like the Wonder Weeks, we are both deep in Leap 4, which is a long stretch. It's like a month-long stretch of a developmental learning thing that they're going through. And so they've been tough. It's been really hard. So I'm actually super grateful this week. I am getting a break because they know, like everybody knows now, my husband's been out of town, and that I'm just kind of trying to, you know, get through the day. And it's already been an improvement, which I hate to say because I feel like I should be able to handle both of them, and generally I am. It was just kind of a lot of things coming together. So I'm hoping in the next few weeks my husband's work schedule will kind of be able to take a step back and he'll be home more. Not that he's helping me when I have both boys, but at least I'll have somebody who comes home before R gets picked up, and he's able to be like, oh, I'll take our son and deal with him for a little bit. And it's also nice because when he is here, I've been able to go to the gym at night if, you know, I need a break. Or he's like, my husband, Cody, is so good about giving me a break when I need it. And he enjoys spending time with Graham. But not having that and not having, like, I'm the support system right now because I'm the person staying at home. So when he's gone, I don't have anyone I can fall back on, and that's been really tough. So like I said, I'm really hoping in the next couple weeks things will kind of get to what I would say a normal schedule would be, and then I'll be able to report back on how we're doing. But for now, I'm just gonna look forward to when they're both crawling. We gotta do some cleaning in our house. We're not ready for the boys to be crawling yet. Thank you guys so much for coming and checking out my mommy vlog. I really appreciate it. If you want to see how Graham is doing, feel free to check out our day in the life vlogs. And I think I just posted a whole bunch about Christmas because that's how behind I am. I'm gonna get better about that. That's part of my New Year's resolutions. But until next time, thank you guys so much, and I will see you for the next one. Bye.